Alright, in this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to log into WordPress for the first time, how to update WordPress to the latest version inside of your admin area, and also how to configure WordPress just so it works a little bit better and is a little bit more user friendly right out of the box. So what you want to do is you want to go to your WP login page, alright, which you would have just gotten after you installed WordPress with Fantastico. You would have gotten a login page for your WP admin. What I want you to do is go to that page and just go ahead and log in. And once you do log in, you're going to come to a screen, a welcome screen, and it's kind of going to look like this. Right now, all right, this version, it's running an older version of WordPress, and you can see right up at the top here that it's giving me a warning. Or it's not really a warning, but it's in yellow, and it says that WordPress, a new version is available, and that I should update it now. So the easiest thing you do is you just click on that link where it says please update now. And you can see I'm using an older version here on this website, and a newer version is available. So all you have to do, you can download it and do this manually, but I find it's just as easy to go ahead, especially on a fresh install, just go ahead and click the Update Now button. And what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and upgrade your WordPress installation to the very latest version of WordPress. And it can take just a couple of seconds. You can see this is happening in real time, and you can see my website, my WordPress is now to 3.8.1. Once we've updated WordPress to the latest version, and although mine is 3.8.1, WordPress is constantly evolving, so yours is gonna more than likely be a little bit different version number. But just make sure that you're updated to the latest version. That's what's most important. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to just make a couple of very quick tweaks to our settings to make WordPress just a little bit better. It'll perform a little bit better. It'll be easier to navigate. So the first thing that you want to do is over here on the left-hand side, okay, you can see the settings. And if you go to settings, if you hover over it, you're going to see another menu pop up. And the very first setting that I like to change, I like to go down to permalinks. And permalinks, what those are is they determine how your website is going to be viewed by other people. And you can see the default permalink structure is to not name a page or a post. Okay, what it does is instead of giving it a simple to understand and search engine friendly post name, what it does is it assigns it just a number, and that's silly. We don't want to leave it on the default. What we want to do is we want to make it down here to where it says post name. We want to go ahead and click that, okay? And once you click that, very important, right down here you're going to see a little link. You're going to want to save the changes. And what we've just done now is once we create posts and pages on our website, the actual website address for that page is going to be related to the title of the page. And that's going to make for a website that's A, very easy to understand for your visitors, and then B, very search engine friendly, because the search engines are going to actually see the post names as the actual titles to the pages. So that's really important. Now, the next thing that I like to adjust under settings is over here under discussion. Now, this is a personal preference, but I don't like people to be able to comment on my blogs, and the absolute reason for that, the only reason that I don't like them to comment, is people spam you all the time trying to get backlinks. So what I find is very easy to do is I uncheck that box because it comes standard as checked. I uncheck it so that people cannot post comments on my articles or on my pages or posts inside of my sites. And as you can see right here, these can be overruled on certain pages if we want. So later on when we create a post or a page, if we do want people to be able to leave a comment on there, we will be able to to go ahead and manually select that on each page. So I like to just go ahead, keep that unchecked. That's very important for me. And then once you uncheck that, really the rest of this page, it doesn't matter. And what I want to do is just go down to the bottom here and click on the link that says Save Changes. That's very important. Every time that you do something in WordPress, you need to click the Save Changes link, and you'll see up top that the settings have been saved. Now I'll show you some of the other settings that you can go ahead and tweak and modify. The next setting that we can go over is the reading, and this is what your visitors are going to see. And one thing that's neat about WordPress is what we can do is our home page of WordPress can either show our latest posts, or we can choose for it to select a static page. So if we create a special page like a home page or any page that we want to display to our visitors when they enter our site, we can go ahead and choose this. Now, because this is a brand new site, we're really not going to do anything with this right now, but once we have our site all built out, what we can do is then we can go ahead and choose, hey, let's have this page or that page or this post or that post be our home page. That's what we want to show on our home page. For right now, because our site is brand new, we don't really have to worry about this too much. There's also writing settings. What we can do is we can choose some different formatting options here. We can choose different link categories, but once again, because our website is brand new, we really don't worry about the writing or reading sections right now, right at the beginning. There's no reason to worry about it, but we do want to go ahead and go over the general settings. So just go ahead and click on the general link right there. And here, what we can do is we can go ahead, name our site. We already did that when we installed it, but we can go ahead, come up with a different tagline, or if we want to change our tagline, we can go ahead do that. Here we have our WordPress address. All right, we have our email address. This is for your admin purposes. You want to use your best email address or create a new email address just for the site. But if you didn't want to create your own email address, a new address, if you didn't want to take the time to do that, you could just put in any email address right here. Okay, and you can also go over, you can enter in your time zone. You can enter in what format you want the date to be displayed, what format you want the time, when you want like a week to start, be it on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, however you want your week to start on. Most people leave that just blank, but any changes you go ahead and make here, go ahead and make sure that you go ahead and click on that Save Changes link. That's really important. All right, so those are the general settings. We can also go ahead over on users here. We can add new users if we want to. We can edit our users that we already have. We can go ahead, set up the administrator, edit the administrator profile, add new users to be administrators. You can do all kinds of things right in here. But to keep things nice and simple, all we really want to concentrate on, like we just did, were those settings tabs for right now. And then if we want any users, we could go ahead, add a new user. It's really easy to add users. You can see, you just go right through here, fill out the different forms, fill out the information that's required. All that's really required is username, email, password. Okay, and then you go ahead and you can assign them a role if you wanted a new administrator. But generally, if you're just starting your first website, you don't have to worry about that too much. But if you did have a webmaster, an employee that was working for you, you would go ahead and add them right in here in the user section. Okay, and those are the major settings that you want to go ahead and tweak before you really start, building out your site. So those are the settings. They're really easy to set up, and just keep it simple to start with. You can go ahead, change anything you want. That's the nice thing about WordPress. If you mess something up or if you forget to add something right now, don't worry about it. You can just come right back and change those settings whenever you want. Okay, it's not locked in stone, so don't worry about that too much.